see you all here. I'm trying to bring the laptop closer to me so I don't have to scream so loud. Let me first say I do not have my contact lenses on today. So this lesson is going to give me a headache because I won't have my contact lenses until Monday. And oh man, I am blinder than I can imagine, than I actually could have imagined me ever being. So soon I will have laser surgery on my eyes, so I won't need contacts anymore. Because this is terrible. I'm 30 and I can't see anything. Like, it's really bad. It's hard for me to read anything. Like, I love reading you guys' comments and stuff, but it's going to be really, really hard today because it's going to kill me. Let me try to make the text bigger. Let me see. Can I make it bigger? Oh, I can make it somewhat bigger. Okay. Yeah, I made it bigger. It helps, but then I can only read a few comments at a time. Okay, so yeah, good to see you guys here, all 30 of you. And today we're going to work on articles. Articles A/N and the. We're going to work on it. They're not that difficult, but one thing we need to understand is that a lot of Russians make mistakes with articles because I don't think you have articles in English. In Russian, sorry. You don't have articles in Russian, so it's very foreign, so to say, to Russian people when they speak English. They tend to forget the articles, and that's actually Hollywood uses that. So whenever there's like a Russian character, and this Russian character isn't like an expert in English or something, they always make sure this person forgets articles. So let's go to computer. I need computer. I love computer. Stuff like that. They always make sure to leave out the article to try to express that this person is a Russian speaker or some sort of, something similar to Russian, like Belarusian, Ukrainian, maybe even Polish. That's similar to us in America, Polish and Russian. I remember when I was a kid, I thought Polish people and Russian people could always understand each other because it sounded the same. And when I introduced my Polish friend to my Russian friend, I said, "Hey, you speak Polish, you speak Russian, you can perfectly understand each other." And I didn't know, I didn't know. It sounds the same to me, okay? But now I absolutely hear the difference, of course. So, all right, we have the usuals in here, maybe some new people. And I apologize in advance if I miss any of your text because shit, no contacts. I mean, you have no idea how it feels to. You guys have no idea how it feels to not be able to see shit. I mean, I can see things. I just can't see detail. I can't see detail. No detail. I see things, but I just can't see anything in detail, right? So let's get to it. Why waste time? Let's start off with the basics and stuff, okay? We're going to use A/N. Okay, so A/N, this is pretty basic. Can anyone give either an example sentence or explain when we use a or an in a sentence? And you can make it an example sentence. Like, would it be correct if I said, I'm going to say now, I want an computer. I want an computer. Would I be able to say I want an computer? An hour, an elephant, a book, a PC. Would I be able to say I want an computer? I just want an computer. Please give me an computer. I just really want an computer. Wrong. Okay, one person says wrong. Was everybody else? I know there's more people participating. I just really want an computer. Okay, we got wrong. Another person says wrong. That's 2. I need at least 3 people to give their opinion on I want an computer. N is used before unspecific vowel letter and a computer. Whoa, wow. It depends on the following letter. Okay, it depends on the following letter. So it seems everyone knows this wrong. That's very good. So what should it be? I want a computer. Now with a computer, the reason why we say and not and is not just because of the word that's following it, is actually the first sound. You could say the first letter, but there are exceptions. Some people say when it's followed by a vowel. So for example, an elephant. So in the example, an elephant, you can say that. What the fuck? You can say that because it's not just because the next letter is a vowel. And we all know the vowels. A, E, I, O, U, and Y on weekends. Those are the vowels. What the hell? Why is it a thumbs up? Okay, why? Sometimes, well, yes, vowel sound. Yes, a vowel sound. Basically a voiceless sound, okay? And I love the fact that Olga gave the example with an hour because H is not a vowel. H is an SMS. Yes, H is not a vowel. So for example, she said an hour. That's absolutely correct. Because although H is a consonant, it doesn't have a consonant sound. It has a very vowelless sound in this case. An hour, an hour. It's actually silent. The H is actually silent there. We don't say an hour or a hour. Wow, an whore. That's crazy. So it's not an hour, it's just an hour. Since the H is silent, it's basically just a vowel, and we say an hour. Now, a university. Yes, it's a university. Now, it's a university. Even though it's a U and it's a vowel, it's a hard U. So it's kind of like saying university. Like U, like a hard Y sound. And remember, U is sometimes a vowel. University. It's like saying university. Yeah. So it's a hard sound. What other examples can I give with this? University. Universe has a similar sound at the beginning. That very hard U sound. Yes, it has like a consonant sound. Yeah. Because Y, although it's sometimes a consonant, sometimes a vowel. In this case, the Y is a consonant. There's a really funny sketch from Family Guy. Very funny sketch. Maybe I can find it real quick and show it to you. It's maybe 15 seconds long. It's not long at all. I believe it's Family Guy. Family Guy. Wow. Let's see. And they gave a lesson on. Oh, I found it. They made this little clip about why the letter Y is only a vowel sometimes. And I'm gonna show you the clip now. This is the clip on why the Y vowel is only a vowel sometimes.
If you'll turn to page 34 of your blue books, you'll see our projections for next quarter.
Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, you know what? I'm in a meeting. I'll call you back.
Well, look who decided to show up.
So, what are we talking about here?
Well, before you...
Oh, I'm sorry. F, what's up? No, I can talk.
Okay. So as you can see, Y was late for the meeting. Not only was he late for the meeting, interestingly enough, he was talking to F. And F is a consonant. So although Y was hanging out with the vowels, he was talking to F on the phone during the vowel meeting. That's, I love these kind of things, okay? So that's A/N. That one's pretty general, and we're going to talk about that a little more later. Now let's get to the dreaded the. Man, you guys, I think some of you have a delay. You guys are laughing. I showed that video like 5 minutes ago. Now let's get to the, or the, actually, sorry, the. When do we basically use the word the before a vowel, before a word? Does it matter that there's a vowel or a consonant sound? Does any of that matter here? When do we use the instead of a or an? And year. Are we on the now? Now we're on the, and it's a year. It's just a year. Yes, a year. Does anyone know when we use the? Who could give an example with the? I wonder how many of you are here today. The ocean, yes, the ocean, Kaniachna. The ocean, the river. Yeah, you could say those for certain bodies of water, the sea, the Philippines. Yeah, but that's interesting. We're going to get more into detail with the. We're going to be on the for a long time, actually. When mentioning something specific, mm, I can't agree with that. When mentioning something specific, so I can say, would I be able to say to someone that I just met, like, "Hey, how's it going? The cat went crazy." Now, specifically, I'm talking about the cat. The cat is specific. I'm talking about a cat. But if I walk to some random person and say, "Man, the cat's going crazy again," I'm specifically talking about a cat, but why can't I just say that? The book under the table, for example, when we mention something 2 times, when we both know the topic, that is the best way to explain it. We use the basically when we both know what we're talking about, when we both know the topic, right? We both have to understand. And typically, it has to be pre-mentioned when you use the. It has to be pre-mentioned. So here goes some examples. Let's say I have a car. What car do people like? I don't know. A Ferrari. Let's say I have a Ferrari, right? I have a Ferrari, and I bring some girl over my house. And first thing I say to her is, "Hey, let me show you a new Ferrari I have. Let me show you a new Ferrari." Then I show her the Ferrari. She's like, "Oh my God, this Ferrari is amazing." I'm like, "Yeah, I bought it myself, cool, yeah. Then we walk away, we go somewhere else. Then I will be able to say, "Isn't the Ferrari amazing? The Ferrari is just beautiful. It's the most amazing Ferrari I've ever had." Now, before she knew what I was talking about, I use "a" for a Ferrari. After I knew she knew what I was talking about, I use the Ferrari because there's only one. There's only one. Now you can also use this with plural. You can also use the with plural. So let's say I had 2 Ferraris. I'm like, "Hey, I have some Ferraris I want to show you. I want to show you some Ferraris." I take her to my house. I show her 2 Ferraris. After I show her the 2 Ferraris, I will be able to tell her later, like, "Aren't the Ferraris amazing? Those are some amazing Ferraris. You like the Ferraris? They're awesome." So the can also be used with plural. You have to understand that. A and an, no, they're not used with plural. So I can say, "I want a sock," but if it's plural, I say, "I want socks." You can't say, "I want a socks." I wouldn't even know how that works. "I want and socks." No, it doesn't work. So when you're using plural, when instead of using a or an, you take it out. But when you know what's being spoken about specifically, then you can use the again. So if somebody takes my socks, my favorite socks, I can walk up to that person and say, "Hey, give me back the socks. I want the socks. Yes, give me the socks, damn it, and I won't kill you." So that's how that works. So the can be used for singular or specific, or plural, but it has to be specific about a pre-known, something you both know about, both the listener and the speaker, you both know about. Then you can use the when you know, okay? So that's one. "Please give me the red hammer. The blue one is too small." That's what she said. Exactly, okay? So that works. Now let's get to also when the thing is singular, the sun. Well, no, it's not just because it's singular. All right, let's talk about that. What you just said. I'll teach "the" in a second. Please remind me to teach "the" after I teach this about the sun. You said the sun because it's singular. We don't call it the sun because it's singular. Does anyone know why we say the sun? I don't have to say, "Hey, there's a sun over there." Why don't I say, "Hey, there's a sun"? Why don't I ever say that? Why don't people say a sun? It's just one thing. Actually, there's millions of suns. There's actually billions of suns. They're called stars. Unique thing. Okay, unique things. Yes, very unique. In Russian, it goes from logic. Yes, it's extremely unique. 99% of the time, no, 99.99999% of the time, when someone's talking about a sun, we're talking about ours. There's only one. So in that case, you say the sun. It's extremely unique, okay? So what are some other unique things? You got the sun, the moon. Before they were knocked down, the Twin Towers. Now we know there's other Twin Towers, but before they fell, they were the biggest in the world and the most popular. What else do we use the for? You can't just say the ocean. There's like 7 of them. Which one are you talking about? That won't work. We could say the damn, I don't know what else is extremely unique. We could say the pyramids. Now, there's a lot of pyramids around the world, but typically when people say the pyramids, they're talking about the ones in Egypt. When you say the pyramids, they're the most unique. You could say, come on, people, help me out. I ain't seeing no help here. I know there's a little delay, but you got to think of something. We got the sun, the moon. You can even say the stars. You could say the stars. You could say, I don't know. That's all I can get right now. But those are the extremely unique things that we can say the for beforehand. But I would love for someone to come up with one more. Something else I didn't mention with the. That's extremely unique. What about other planets? No, we never say the Mars or the Jupiter. No, it's just Mars, Jupiter. You know, and they kind of have names, you know, so we don't really because we don't call our sun's name by its name. We call the sun, but we call the planets by name. Mars, Jupiter. Our sun has a name. Most of us just don't know our sun's name. Does anyone know the name of the sun? I don't think so. Maybe 1 or 2 of you, but most of us don't know the name of our sun. That's why we say the sun. The British, the Browns. Maybe someone told me because they have names. Yes, they have names. That's exactly why. Always wonder how y'all going to say if mother wants to say to son, you are my son, homophone with son. You are my son. Well, yeah, I understand, but she may also say something like, you are my sun and my moon, or you are the sun and the stars, to show that this person is like very high and important. They may say things like that too, okay? Now to thee. I want to get to thee. Now, to my understanding, thee is spelled the same way as the, but we're going to pronounce it thee, okay? But you know, times change and the English language changes very quickly. So I don't know if the may have, sometimes it has 2 E's. So let's give it 2 E's here just so we can understand what we're learning. Does anyone know when we use the, and I'm talking about modern English. I'm not talking about English from the 1800s. Now, I wouldn't write it this way. No, that's the end. Well, sometimes it's the end. Sometimes it's the end. Sometimes it's the end. Yeah, some people may say that. Now we generally say the end, but okay, I will accept that. But I'm looking for a more accurate way that most people will use this in modern day English. It's used before, no. It's similar to importance again. Uniqueness is similar to uniqueness once again. It has something to do with uniqueness. I'll give you guys another 10 seconds, then I'll give it to you. For early, the was the. Yeah, but I'm talking about modern day English, how people still speak right now, today. The was there. But early, the was there. Yeah, I changed it to the, just so you guys know which one I'm talking about. The D is used when talk about God. The God? No, it's just God. It's not the God. No, it's God.
I have a question.
Okay, no one guessed? All right, I'll give it to you. We use the typically when we're shocked, when we're surprised, because of a certain famous person, usually person, or place or thing is relevant in a conversation and we can't believe it. So I'll give you examples. This one will take time explaining. Let's say in Moscow, right? People dress up like political figures. So people dressed up as Lenin, Putin, Stalin, maybe even the guy who's the writer, the Russian guy who's the writer. I forgot his name. Pushkin. They dress up like these people. So when you see these people, you know they're not the real people, but you see they're trying to look like the real people. So for example, so with that example, continuing from there, they will come lesson but don't understand English. Yeah, it's funny. You should show a picture for that. So let's say one day I go there and I take a picture with Putin and I come back. and someone says, "Oh, Phil, what did you do?" And I'll say, "I took a picture with Putin in Red Square." They'll say, "No, you didn't. That wasn't Putin. That was a lookalike." I said, and I can say, "No, I took a picture with the Vladimir Putin. The Putin. I took a picture with him." And what do I mean by the? In that case, I'm talking about the real, actual person in this case. The real, actual person. Not the lookalikes. The real, actual person. That's the. That's when we use the. Or it could be the real, actual thing. So, what's a real important thing that's known or something? Okay, let's say, for example, let's say Michael Jackson's glove, one of his famous gloves that he performed. Let's say one of his gloves he did a music video with, right? So he does this. He uses this. No, that's a different the. That's old English. I'm talking about modern day English. Let's say this special glove. He, just before he died, he said anyone can have it. So let's say I go to my friend and I'll say, "Hey, look, I have Michael Jackson's glove." They're like, "Oh, Michael Jackson's glove? Yeah, sure. Where did you buy that from? The store? Some little magazine? Some little shop? You just bought this glove and you think it's Michael Jackson's glove?" I will be able to say, "No, this is the glove Michael Jackson wore. I won it in an auction or something. This is the glove, the most expensive Michael Jackson glove in the world. This is the glove." So when you're saying the, you're saying the original, the one and only. There are no others. There are no others. That's when you use the in modern day English. In modern day English. But you told me when country have a double name like Bosnia and Herzegovina, you need to put an article. The All right, we'll get to that next. We'll get to that next because I can't even say Herzegovina. That's killing me. But we'll get back to that next, I promise. So remind me. Okay, do we all understand the? Please, he's the most experienced doctor I know. He's almost experienced doctor. The second one makes no sense. The second one makes no sense. The first one is the only one that makes sense. Okay, so we all understand the? Excelente. The is explained. It's impossible. The most goes only with. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so what did I promise to explain now? I said I will get to double names. But you told me when a country has got a double name, you forgot the article, got a double name, like Bosnia and Herzegovina. All right, let's think of another country with a double name, because that one's giving me a headache. Let's think of a different country with a double name. What country has a double name? Any other countries have a double name? Let's see. I remember Austria-Hungary. So let's say, for example, I know this is old, but you guys remember Austria-Hungary, the Austria-Hungary Empire? Austria-Hungary. Austria-Hungary. Say in a dialect saying like that. All right, do you guys remember Austria-Hungary? And I hope, yeah, I think I spelled Hungary right. The Austria-Hungary Empire, it was very well known and very powerful, basically until Hitler took over shit. Then nobody remembered what Austria was. They only knew what Germany was. That's partially thanks to Hitler and some other war things. But Austria-Hungary was a very, very powerful empire. Now, let me ask you, did people, English-speaking people, say the Austria-Hungary Empire, or did they just say Austria-Hungary Empire? Was there a the before Austria-Hungary in the Austria-Hungary Empire? Does anyone know? Was there a the? It could be the or the Austro-Hungary Empire, the Austro-Hungary Empire. Was there a the or the there? Let's see how many of you guys guess with the Austro-Hungary Empire. Oh, boy, I'm ripping my ass off over here. Okay, impossible. Actually, maybe there was a mistake, or you have memorized a sentence wrong. Yeah, I think he memorized a sentence wrong. So no guesses on Austria-Hungary? Was it the Austria-Hungary Empire, or was it just Austria-Hungary Empire? I can only guess the Austria-Hungary Empire. Okay, anyone else? We definitely need more participation. Was it the Austria-Hungary Empire or just Austria-Hungary? There should be the. Okay, one more. One more. I know there's a delay. I'll give it some more time, and I won't rush you guys. I don't know, actually. I understand. Just Austria-Hungary. Okay, that's 3 guesses. All right. So was it just Austria-Hungary, or was it the Austria-Hungary Empire? It was actually the Austria-Hungary Empire. And why was it Austria-Hungary Empire? Well, it wasn't because of Austria-Hungary. It doesn't matter that it has 2 names. Were the people called Hungry Austrians there? That's hilarious. I think they were just called Austrians at the time. I'm not sure, but I gotta check that out. That's a good ass question. It was, yes, because of the word empire. Empire is basically a grouping word, so to say. It shows that things are together. An empire is basically a whole bunch of land that is owned by one power. That's an empire. So people to this day talk about the British Empire, which was preceded by the American Empire. So the American Empire, when people say that, they're not just talking about America. When they say it's called Austro-Hungarian Empire as well. Yes, also Austro-Hungary. They're not just talking about America like the States. They're talking about basically everywhere that America basically controls. Countries where the American military is, where American politics can influence what happens in that country, where they speak English because of American interference, stuff like that. That's all part of the American empire. So empire shows a collection of different lands, okay? The Ottoman Empire. Yes, the Ottoman Empire too. Same about the group of islands. Yes, so we're going to discuss all that. So empire shows a group of things. Same thing with states. The United States of America. The reason why we put the is because there's states there. States, the United States. So that shows states together, united. So we use the to show that whole group is one. That whole group is united, okay? The USSR, yes. The United Soviet, oh crap, I forgot it in English. What's sad is SSSR. I remember it in Russian. I don't remember in English. The United USSR, the United, okay, the United Soviet Socialist Republics. Okay, I know it in Russian, but I don't know it in English. It's the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So republics, union shows they're a group. So we say the USSR. But in Russian, you guys don't use the, you just say SSSR, which I remember. I don't know why I remember that so well. I actually remember the words, but I don't want to say it and sound like an idiot, okay? So let's move on. Let's see. 1 second, guys. Okay, so yes, also with islands, I remember, also with islands, I heard in past it was the Ukraine. Some people say the Ukraine, but it's stupid. Even some Americans say the Ukraine, it's stupid. And the reason why they say the Ukraine is because they're used to, after the word the, when they hear you, they're used to, sorry, I said it wrong. Okay. The reason why people say the Ukraine, even though it's absolutely wrong, the reason why they say that is because Ukraine reminds a lot of people by the tongue memory of United States of America. So we're used to saying the United States of America, the U, that hard U sound. Now, this is my guess, because other than that, I don't know why they say the Ukraine. So when you hear Ukraine, they just naturally say the Ukraine because it's kind of like the United States of America. Other than that, I have no idea why people say the Ukraine. I don't know. Somebody said that and people just got stuck to it. I heard, yeah, I don't know why people say the Ukraine. There's absolutely no reason in the English language to say the Ukraine. There's no reason. It makes no sense. It's like saying the Turkey, the Russia, the Iceland. It doesn't make sense. There's no reason to say the Ukraine. You know, we know it's Ukraine. There's only one, and there's no specific reason to call it Ukraine. The Ukraine. There's no reason. The United Crane. I guess that could work. That was pretty damn funny. Yeah, the United Crane. Yeah, there's no way to say it. So let's go on. So we did empire, we did states, also islands. Who knows some islands that have the article the used before it? Who knows some islands? Who knows some islands? Ice. What? I said islands. 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 I don't know how to say islands in Russian. That's the United Kingdom. There's no islands there. I mean, yeah, they're islands, but the word island isn't there. There you go. The Caribbean islands. Yes, the show a collection of the islands together under one power. The Philippines, the Caribbean. Yes. What are some other ones? Oh, I know. When my father got married. Oh man, I cannot believe I forgot when my father got married. I mean, that Iceland is an island. No, I know it's an island, but we're looking for the word the being used to describe something with the word island in it or islands. Ah, I forgot the name of the islands. The Virgin Islands. My father, and I was there, my father got married in the Virgin Islands. Yes, the Virgin Islands. That's another one. Let's see. What other islands are there? We only have like three. It's got to be more islands. Um, the Jamaican Islands. That's all I got. That's really all I have. It's really all I have. I don't have that many. But yes, you can use that for Prince Edward Island. There's no the there. The British Islands. Okay, the British Islands. Canary Islands. Okay. Let me think. I'm bad at geography. I didn't know you guys were bad at it too. I thought it was just me. Uh, the Greek Islands? Am I making that up? The Greek Islands? I don't know why that's in my head. The Greek Islands. Okay, I don't even know how to say that, so I'm not going to bother trying. But the Seychelles Islands, maybe. Okay, you both got at the same time. Okay, that's basically it. The islands. Okay, we got islands. Now let's get to mountains. Which mountains, what mountain ranges are described using the word the before them? The Himalayan mountains, the Alps. The Alps, yes. Appalachian Mountains, yes. So basically, you got islands, volcanoes, mountains, maybe lakes. You guys ever heard of the Great Lakes? You guys ever heard of the Great Lakes? That's another example. Um, Also for the wonders of the world, the seven wonders of the world. I don't know if you guys know the seven wonders of the world. There might be more now. Are there still seven or is there more? How many wonders in the world? There might be more than seven because, things change so much. I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, it's still seven. All right. The seven wonders of the world. You guys know those. Oh, who's this? Oh, Toma. Hi, Toma. The Great Canyon. Yes, that's interesting. Because, yeah, a canyon is kind of a collection of big, big yamachki. The Carpathian Mountains, okay. Chuskoy Lake. All right, you guys are showing off your geography skills, and I get it. You win. You won. In Estonia. All right, you guys got it. Okay. So that's when you can also use it when you're talking about groups and stuff. And I think the is the only one. I think the is the only one that has any sort of difficulty in it. It's the only one because A and N is pretty simple. So we're going to learn some more about the. Now, right now, I want to teach about the and the time. The plus time. Teach you how to use this. So let's say if the Black Forest, yeah. So for example, would it be correct if I were to walk up to somebody and say, do you have the time? Do you have the time? Do you have the time? Would it be correct if I said, do you have the time? Everybody still going? Yes, the Rocky Mountains too. Yes, yes. But we're moving on. Would it be correct if I said, do you have the time? Ah, my freaking leg. Kamadi in Russia, very aggressive. They're crazy. It's an idiom. Yes, it's an idiom, but can we say the time? Okay, now in that case, we can say the time. Yes, but does anyone know why we can say the time in that case? Why can we say the time in that case? In that specific case, when I'm like, hey, do you have the time? Remember what we learned about using the word the. Why can I say the time in that case? What about it makes me capable of saying the time? I don't know this person. We never spoke to each other before. We had no conversation about time before. But why can I say the time this person? Like in club song, check the time. Yes, check the time. That is not the right way to say. Do you have the time? It's absolutely fine. I've been speaking English for 30 years. And do you have the time if you got your watch and want to know the time? Yes, but basically what I was looking for, the answer is when we ask somebody for the time, we can say the because when we're asking them for the time, we both know that the person is specifically asking for the time it is now. For the time it is now. We don't want to walk up, let's say it's 6 o'clock. Now I walk up to somebody and say, hey, you have the time? Yes, 12 o'clock. I'm like, it's 6 o'clock. Why would you tell me it's 12 o'clock? Because my watch is stuck on 12. Then you're not giving me the time. You're giving me time, but you're not giving me the time. So the time is specific right now kind of thing, specific. Okay, specific right now. Ask what time. Yes, currently. Exactly, the 9 o'clock meeting. Yes, well, but in that case, that's different. When you're saying the 9 o'clock meeting, it's not about the time that makes it the, it's just the meeting in general. It's a pre-planned meeting. So you could say the meeting if you want, and if you want, you could say the 9 o'clock meeting, but you can't just say the 9 o'clock. You can't just say, yeah, the 9 o'clock. That could be used as slang for the meeting, but generally, no, it's just the meeting or the 9 o'clock meeting or the meeting at 9 o'clock, okay? So in that case, you can. Now, there's other ways to use time that we sometimes use the word the with. So we should answer, it's 9 p.m. Yes, we should say it's 9 p.m. Don't say the 9 p.m. Don't say, you could say the afternoon time, something like that. But basically, when you answer, try not to use the word the. Don't do that. There's no reason. When you ask for the time, don't say the unless you want to say the time is 8 o'clock. The time is 9 o'clock, something like that. But we don't do that. We just say the number, 8:35, 9:15, 10:20, 11:30. And right now it's, according to Russia, it's 00:39. But the way I tell it is 12:39 at night where I am. I don't know what time it is where you guys are, but where I am, it is late, okay? So, I think it's British to say at the weekend. I really think that's British to say that because that sounds so weird to me. Because in America, we say on the weekends or during last weekend or I'll do it next weekend or maybe next weekend or last weekend or I like weekends. It's very rare to say at the weekend. Like I wouldn't even know how to use that in a sentence, but I'm pretty sure that's correct in British English. I'm not saying you're wrong because I heard some British people themselves say at the weekend or over the weekend. Yeah, that one's good too. But I don't think I ever heard in America at the weekend. I just wouldn't know how to use that. So are you coming out at the weekend? Or did you party at the weekend? I don't know how to use it. Can anyone give me an example sentence with at the weekend? I'm aware it's correct, but that's so British that I don't even know how to use it myself. How could I use at the weekend? Right. So how could I use at the weekend in a sentence? Because I have no idea how to use it, honestly. There are numerous British phrases and words that I don't know how to use. And at the weekend is definitely one of the phrases I do not know how to use. He said, let's meet at the weekend. And the weekend. And the weekend? No way have you heard and the weekend. You probably heard in the weekend, possibly in, but and the weekend makes no sense because you're putting two articles before weekend and that like defeats the purpose of using an article. You're better off just saying weekend. So, and the weekend, no, you probably heard in the weekend, even though I never use in the weekend, but that's probably what you heard. Oh, at the weekend. Yes, yes, at the weekend. That's very British. So she gave a great example. Let's meet at the weekend. That's cool. I would say let's meet next weekend. Or let's meet at a weekend in which we're both free. Something like that. Let's meet during a weekend in which we're free. Or let's meet one weekend in which we're both free. But I never said at the weekend. But we do say let's meet at night. We do say at night. Let's meet in the evening. Let's meet during the afternoon. Let's meet in the morning. You know, it's all a little complicated there. Maybe I should write that so you guys understand. All right, let's meet. Okay. Now I'm gonna put how we do it. Let's meet in the morning. Let's meet in the morning. We could say in the afternoon. Let's meet in the morning. Let's meet in the afternoon. Let's meet at night. Let's meet. You can also say at noon. That's 12 o'clock. Let's meet in the, yeah, that's basically it. In the morning, in the afternoon, and or in the evening. Let's meet in the evening. You can say that. Let's meet next weekend. That's common. What about the ending? Weekends or weekend? I've seen both examples. In what sentence? I can say I go out. I go out on weekends. I can say I go out on weekends. I drink on weekends. And when people ask me questions in which I don't really want to answer or I really don't know the answer to, my answer is always on weekends. So people say, why? Wow, Phil, why are you such a nice guy? I'm like, I'm a nice guy on weekends. I always say that. That's been my thing ever since I've been in New York. Do you like people on weekends? I see. Then you actually mean that any. Yeah, in those cases, when you say weekends, you mean any weekend. So we say that for a lot of things that typically deal with our days off. So weekends are usually equivalated with free days, days in which you're not working. So you like to party on weekends, you know. Do you spend time with your kids on weekends? Because I don't work. Okay. What do you do on weekends? Well, I like to go blah blah blah. And I would guess British people say, what do you do at weekends? I guess they would say, what do you do at weekends? I could be wrong. This is just my guess. Or every, for example, I read in the mornings. Every morning I do it. Or every, for example, I read in the mornings. Every morning I do it. Yes, I read in the mornings. Yes. That means it can mean every or just most mornings. It can mean every or most. So yeah, I party on weekends. Doesn't mean you party every weekend, but specifically it means if you do party, it's going to be during the weekends. And if you do read, it's going to be during the morning. That's how that works. So when they use the S after those times of day, parts of the day, they're basically saying, I typically do it this part of the day. So I read in the mornings. Basically, when I read, it's typically in the morning time, not at night. That's what that means, okay? Excellente. So that's another one with the. Okay, so any questions about this? I like you guys' questions. Mostly Olga's asking questions, which is okay, but I like to see more people get involved. You know, so far my eyes aren't doing too bad, you know? So yeah, for example, then let's say, can I say this? Let's see, for example, I want you guys to say yes or no. Could I say this to you guys right now? Would this make sense? I lost the contacts. I lost the contact lenses. I lost the contact lenses. I hate myself because I lost the contact lenses. Would I be able to say that? Would you understand what the hell I'm talking about? Would it make any sense for me to say I lost the contact lenses? I give you guys another 5 seconds. We got it's okay. We got 3. I think yes. Well, in this case, actually, yes. It would make sense if I say, damn, I lost the contact lenses. Why? Because when I first started the lesson, I said, I don't have my contacts on. I won't be able to see anything. I have a headache. I spent the whole, first 2 minutes of this lesson complaining about how I can't see and how I don't have contacts and I have to wait till Monday to get new ones. So obviously when I'm talking about the contacts, it's the contacts I had before I didn't have them. So that one would be pretty obvious, yes. Okay, another example. Could I say, I really hate the girl. I can't stand the girl. I can't stand her. The girl pisses me off every single day. Every single day. Would I be able to say that, guys? Oh, he said yes for the other thing. Let me put a line here. If I know this girl, then you can. If you know her, that's not a great explanation yet. If it's a particular one. But then in that case, it has to be no, because I never mentioned during this lesson a specific girl to you guys. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. If I said the girl's pissing me off, that wouldn't make sense. What girl are we talking about? Even if you know the girl, it still doesn't make sense. You have to not only know the person, you have to understand that that is the specific person I'm talking about right now. For example, let's say if I said the girl pisses me off, I could have been talking about Hannah Montana. We all know Hannah Montana, but we didn't know I was talking about Hannah Montana at that time, or Beyonce. We all know Beyonce or Hannah Montana, but we didn't know I was talking about them at that time. So we have to not only know the person, but we have to know the person I'm speaking of at the time in which I'm saying it. We have to know the person. This girl, if she is a particular in the meaning this girl, you can say this girl, but that sounds a little rude saying this girl. It's a little rude. We usually say something like this girl or this guy. Typically when we kind of, it's distant language. It's distant language. Because usually when we talk about somebody, we know their name. We know their name. We know who they are. But when we say this girl, is distant language, which means we're trying to separate ourselves from being close to that person. So for example, let's say I have a good friend named Andre. And me and Andre, I'm like, oh, Andre's cool. You know, Andre, he does this and that. He does this and that. But let's say Andre kills somebody. And then the police find me. And the police say, hey, we hear you're Andre's best friend. What do you know about him? I'm like, well, I don't know that much about this guy. You know, this guy is just, I heard about him. I see him sometimes, but I don't spend that much time with this guy. You know, this guy did blah, blah, blah. So this guy is distant language. And this distances you from the person. It's okay if we know who, what, or whom we're talking about. Yes, that's why we should use the instead of this. Yeah. Yes, that it's more respectful. It's more respectful, but it's still kind of distant language. So if you know somebody and you just forgot their name, then of course you say the or this, but it's best to use somebody's name or some kind of unofficial title, because I call most of my friends, I call a lot of people in my life by unofficial titles. Like right now, my apartment is Crazy Lady. That's because she's crazy, so I call her Crazy Lady. That's not a real name, but I call her that because almost every girl in Russia has her name. So there's no way in hell I'm calling her by her name, because everybody has that name. If one speaker doesn't know her, we shouldn't use it. Well, typically there's one speaker and one listener. So you don't want to just say speaker. You want to say people involved. So the speaker and the listener both have to know who you're talking about at the time. You both have to understand in what direction the conversation is going at that moment. You can't just know her. You have to know the person's talking about this person at that moment. So the is difficult. The is the one that's difficult. I could even say the is difficult. The is difficult. It is difficult to use the. I can actually say that's kind of funny. Let's see. The birds are very beautiful. Yes. So let's get to using the in other ways. Let's see what other ways they've used the. Let's see what I missed. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Let's use the article. See what else I missed with so you have 10 seconds. You could put a number in front of a count. You could put an A in front of count names. All right, give me a second. Let me see what I forgot. Count nouns. You mean countable nouns? I hate when they say count nouns. Where's the pencil? I think about the cat. Boring. Yeah, I gave you guys basically everything you needed with the. I don't see anything else that was really important that I might have missed with the. No, I caught the most amazing things that you need. We discuss when there's only one. We discuss. Oh, we could do. No, no need. Yeah, we basically got it. So I just want to see if you guys have any more questions. By the way, let me see if I missed anything. Speaker doesn't blah blah blah. By the way, how'd it be if you say that like silly Billy with the, but before it didn't mention who she is? I need to ask you about like silly Billy with the silly Billy. Oh, I see. Okay, yes, you need to ask me who she is, because if I just said, hey, I'm hanging out with Crazy Lady, you'd have to ask, who the fuck is Crazy Lady? So I can put a picture in your mind of who Crazy Lady is. So you will have to ask. So before I would mention her as Crazy Lady, I would maybe describe her to you by saying, oh, this girl I know, we knew each other for some time. She looks like this, she looks like that. She laughs like this. She sounds like and stuff. I would explain it to you so you can have a picture in your head. So when I say Crazy Lady, you'll have somewhat of an accurate picture in your head. When you mean certain birds, I think I'm lost there. There's also used with the museum, the gallery, all the buildings for entertainment, but school, prison. Yes, the museum. That's true. We use museum. We would say the museum for many museums. Yes, the gallery for many galleries, and the zoo for many zoos. Even when there's other zoos around it, we'll still say the zoo. So that's true. The museum, the gallery, the buildings, the zoo, the movies. We also say the movies. We're going to the movies, which is the cinema, but we say the movies all the time. What about the police department? Yeah, the police department, that's another one. The fire department, the ambulance, yes. So all three of those important things, they get the police department, the ambulance, and the fire department, all three. Let's see, you are always welcome, okay. Should we say the university? It depends. The university isn't like the police department or something. That's different. You may have to just say, I went to a university yesterday. You know, you would have to say the university if they know which university you're talking about. And the university, at the university, or at university is at the university. In the university, in the university, in university. Yes, it's in the university. It could be in the university or at the university. If you say I'm at the university right now, that could be you're visiting. When you're saying I'm in the university, that can mean you're inside of the university or you got accepted to the university. So I could be at home right now and talking to my mom, say, hey mom, I'm in the university. Yeah, I got in yesterday. Right now I'm at home, but I'm actually in the university. I got accepted in. Yeah, I'm in the university. I'm happy. I'm a member. I'm inside. Like that. The clock. The clock. Well, you can say the clock if you know what clock you're talking about, but you might be talking about working. When somebody's on the clock, that means they're working at that specific time. They are working. When they're off the clock, they're free at that specific time. They're not working. So maybe that's what you mean by clock. I believe that's what you mean by clock. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about. And it's a good phrase. When you're on the clock, you're working, so you need to behave yourself. When you're off the clock, you do what you want. You don't have to behave yourself unless you break the law and go to jail. That's your choice. Your choice, okay? Any more since we have 4 minutes left? Usually I leave the last few minutes for questions and shit. I'm about to go take a shower and stuff soon, so I'm waiting for you guys. I'm going to eat some chocolate. I'm eating too much chocolate. Today I had a good salad. I had a Caesar salad and a nice sandwich. So I ate kind of healthy. Maybe I'll have some plov. I'm very hungry. I went to football 2 days ago and I'm starving. What was it yesterday? It was yesterday. No, 2 days ago. It's Friday now. Okay, you guys got about 3 minutes. So that vibe. Anything else? Any other questions with the? If you don't ask me one in 10 seconds, I'll give some more examples. Here we go. What's the difference when some groups named with the, like the Beatles, and there are without the in the name? You got to understand one thing about titles when it comes to like teams or movie stars or rock groups. They don't follow rules. They don't follow rules. So they could be Beatles or the Beatles. They could even call themselves a Beatles. There's no rules when you're a band and you just give yourself a title. So it really doesn't matter at all. They could be the Jacksons. It could just be Jacksons. It could be Jackson 5 or it could be the Jackson 5. It doesn't matter with titles at all. A boy came into the room. The boy came into the room. Boy came into the room. Okay, well, you could say a boy came into the room if it's a boy that you and the listener don't specifically know at the time, or basically someone you didn't even recognize. The boy came into the room, you say that when you and the listener know exactly what boy you're talking about. The pre-mentioned boy, the boy you both know about, lawlessness. You could name yourself the lawlessness, the lawlessness, the lawlessness. How could you make a band out of that? The lawlessist. Yeah, you'd be the lawlessist. That means you live without laws. The lawlessist. How would I spell that? The lawlessness. The lawlessness. I'm gonna write it. The lawlessness. The lawlessness. So if any of you start a band with the name the Lawlessnessists, I want some money. Because that's a hilarious name. That's a hilarious name. Oh shit. The here is very important. The here is very important. Phil, is it a big difference? Phil, is it a big difference of option cook food between Rush and USA? Oh, different? Yeah, hell yeah. Humongously different. Just a billion differences with cooking food in America and Russia. A billion differences. A billion. Boy, what is this? What the hell? The Lawlessnessists is a possible name of a future band. And it's an awesome name because it's hard to say and people have fun listening to it and saying it. So if you start a band, you should name yourself the Lawlessnessists. That's simple. And it's a tongue twister too. I assist the lawlessness. I assist the lawlessness. That's a tongue twister. I'll write it for you. I assist the lawless. Sorry. I assist the lawlessness. I assist the lawlessness. I assist the law. You got to be able to say that 3 times fast. Yeah, only Eminem can do it. Maybe. I'm going to practice the next lesson. Hopefully I get it. I assist the lawlessness. I assist the lawlessness. So fuck you. I can't do it. I said about the difference between shit slash the shit, since it's the lesson about articles. Between shit and the shit since. Oh, shit and the shit. Ah, gotcha. Yes, they are very, very different. Phil, are you in Russia again now? What do you mean again? I haven't left Russia in the last year and a half. But anyway, all right, guys, good to see you again, and we'll meet again on Monday. Now, I believe Monday is going to be modal verbs. Was that it? I think so. Yeah, we're going to learn about some modal verbs and stuff, and yeah, I'll see you guys then. Only Slim Shady can pronounce this. I'll practice it. When I practice it, I'm going to get it. Because I assist the lawlessness. I assist the lawlessness. Shit. All right. Later, guys. God damn it.